All right, Pouring Nation, today I'm going to do two crazy things. The first is I'm going to pour out of this grated Parmesan cheese container. I washed it in the dishwasher. It's all dry and everything. I want to see how it's going to look when I pour through these 3 holes at the end. The second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pour on a 24 by 24 gallery wrap canvas, and I'm going to do it the first time I try this. One, because this is such a huge container, I want to make sure that I get a decent amount of paint so the paint isn't traveling the whole distance. Otherwise it will just muddy itself. And two, sometimes you just gotta go with the flow and just do something that seems fun. I'm pouring on top of my Lolly Beefy extra large mat so that when I pour the paint off, I can just let it dry and peel it right up. Super easy cleanup. These are the colors I chose. My daughter helped me pick them out again. And I wanted something that's a little bit outside of my comfort zone, which yellow and orange are definitely outside my comfort zone. And we have a little silver, blue, some light blue, kind of a rose, or a very light pink, orange and yellow. And we're going to see how this works. I've also done a bunch of tests with my paint. One, to see that the consistency is right. And two, I mixed a bunch of the different kinds of paints to see what those colors would look like when they finally show up together in the painting. And there are some I do not want to mix. I do not want orange and blue to mix. That just makes a horrible brown. I don't want. And most of the other colors, when they mix, will look just fine. So I'm making sure that I have a color in between these two. And I figured getting some cells in between the two blues would be pretty cool looking. So that's what we're going to do here, and that's what this was. Also, to get this off was actually really easy. All I did was take my heat gun. I found where the seam was, heated it up, and then the stuff comes right off. That way I can see inside. And when you do that, you need to clean off where the adhesive was, just so it's not sticky. But that makes for an easy, clean recycling for your acrylic pouring. And I don't want to set this heavy container down on my canvas because it will definitely push it down and make a dent that I don't want to be there. Now I can already tell I made a mistake here because I poured right here, but the cap closes right here, and I really should have marked that so I could pour in here and they could come back straight out that direction. But you live, you learn. And as you can see, all 3 streams didn't keep themselves separate. They're now just pouring out the same place. And I'm trying to get closer so I can keep some of that. So I can keep some of the colors a little bit brighter. The higher up you get, the more they're going to mix. This was a 24 by 24 canvas, which requires about 24 ounces of paint. And I think I have 28 if I used every drop of paint. I will tell you that this hurts my hand. It's getting very hard to keep it straight and steady. I do not like that orange piece, so I'm going to And I may not have mentioned it before, this is 1 part Floetrol, 1 part paint, and then water. Consistency is medium thin, not super thin like you do for a Dutch pour, but medium thin. So it created a small mound and went away. And I'm using all sorts of paint, Montmartre, the golden liquid paint, the fluid paint, Liquitex Basics, some of the Flow acrylic white from Artist Loft, a little bit of everything. Just want to see how this is going to open up. I'm really interested to see how this blue down here opens up. Okay, so I love all of these sections here. I don't particularly like this. So in the end, I probably want to pour this off at the end so I can just keep going and push it all off. The part I like the best I like all of these corners, but I think I'm gonna go here first and then kind of go clockwise around. And I don't want to go too fast. If you go too fast, you start wrecking what's in the middle. So I'm going to go nice and easy. See where I've done that? The paint is not rolling over on itself anymore. It's just kind of pushing that paint out. Then as it hits the canvas over there, it will start rolling again. So if you want to keep a lot of your composition, you want to have a base coat down. Otherwise you run into what I have here where I'm not going to be able to keep a lot of the composition. I shouldn't say that. I'm not going to be able to keep a wide array of the composition. I'm going to be able to keep a center piece, but not a wide array. Overall, I'm really loving this piece. You don't see very much of the pink. There's a couple of places like right here where you can see it, and you can see it in some of these cells and bubbles here. And then a little bit in the stripes, but mostly it got gobbled up by the blue and the orange. I have a ton of, when this dries, this is all going to be sparkly because it's all the silver, metallic silver that's coming up in between everything else. I didn't get a lot of ugly brown from the blue and orange, which really the pink is what helped that to happen. But some of these sections are just beautiful. And because I had 3 openings and those openings are very small and in the end they combined, I just got a lot of tiny layers, tiny streaks of paint there. Overall, I really like how this turned out. Much different than the Dutch pour that I did on a large canvas, which you can see here.